I want you to think about something with me for a moment. Think about everything you did today before you sat down to watch this video. Maybe you made yourself breakfast this morning, standing at the counter, reaching for dishes, moving around your kitchen without a second thought. Maybe you walked to get the mail, stepped off a curb, or climbed a few stairs. Perhaps you bent down to pick something up off the floor, or turned around quickly when someone called your name. These are such ordinary moments, so unremarkable that they barely register in your conscious mind. But here's what I want you to understand. Every single one of those moments required your balance systems to work flawlessly. Every single one. And now I want you to imagine something else. Imagine if, during any one of those moments, your body didn't respond the way you expected it to. Imagine reaching for that dish and suddenly feeling unsteady. Imagine stepping off that curb and feeling your ankle wobble beneath you. Imagine turning around and experiencing that terrible, heart-stopping sensation of losing your equilibrium. For millions of Americans over the age of 60, this isn't imagination. It's reality. It's something they experience, something they fear, something that quietly changes the way they live their lives. The statistics are sobering. Every year, approximately 1 in 4 Americans over 65 experiences a fall. That's not a small number. That's millions of people, millions of families affected. Falls are the leading cause of injury-related emergency room visits for older adults. They're the primary cause of hip fractures. And perhaps most significantly, they're the number one reason that independent, capable people begin to lose confidence in their own bodies. Falls don't just break bones, they break something deeper. They break the trust you have in yourself to move through the world safely. But I need to stop right here and tell you something crucial. This video is not designed to frighten you. I am not interested in using scary statistics to make you anxious about your own body. Fear doesn't help anyone improve. Fear makes people hesitate, avoid activity, and ultimately become weaker. That's the opposite of what we want. What I am going to do today is something far more valuable than generating fear. I'm going to give you knowledge, practical tools, and a clear path forward. Because here's the truth that changes everything. Balance is not a fixed trait you're born with and stuck with forever. Balance is a skill. It's a complex, trainable skill that involves multiple systems in your body working together. And like any skill, it can be assessed, it can be understood, and it can be dramatically improved with the right approach. The person you are today, with whatever level of balance you currently have, is not the person you have to be 3 months from now. Your body is remarkably adaptable, far more adaptable than most people realize, regardless of your age. Today, I'm going to share with you a simple test that takes just seconds to perform but reveals profound information about your balance systems. We're going to explore exactly why balance tends to change as we age, looking at the actual physiology in a way that makes sense. We're going to discuss each of the 5 major systems responsible for keeping you upright. And then I'm going to teach you 5 specific exercises that target each of these systems, exercises you can do at home with no special equipment. By the end of this video, you'll have both the understanding and the practical tools to begin improving your balance immediately. Before we proceed any further, I need to be clear about something important. I am an educator sharing information based on established research and principles used by rehabilitation professionals. I am not your doctor, and I don't know your individual health history, your medications, or any conditions you might be managing. Nothing in this video constitutes personal medical advice. If you have concerns about your balance, if you've experienced falls, or if you have any health conditions affecting your mobility, please consult with your healthcare provider or a qualified physical therapist. They can evaluate your specific situation in ways I simply cannot through a video. With that understanding in place, let's move forward. To truly appreciate why balance changes with age and what we can do about it, we need to understand what balance actually involves. Most people think of balance as a single, simple ability. You either have good balance or you don't. But the reality is far more sophisticated and, honestly, far more interesting. Your balance is the result of multiple complex systems working together in seamless coordination, processing information, and making adjustments hundreds of times per second, all without any conscious effort on your part. The first system is your visual system. Your eyes constantly gather information about your environment and your position within it. They tell your brain where the ground is, where obstacles are located, how you're moving in relation to the world around you. Vision plays a surprisingly large role in balance, which is why people often feel more unsteady in dim lighting or when visual information becomes unreliable. The second system is your vestibular system, located in your inner ear. This remarkable biological engineering consists of tiny fluid-filled canals lined with specialized sensory cells. These structures detect rotation, acceleration, and the position of your head relative to gravity. It's like having a sophisticated internal gyroscope and accelerometer constantly monitoring your orientation in space. The third system is proprioception, often called your body's position sense. Throughout your muscles, tendons, and joints, specialized receptors constantly send information to your brain about where your body parts are located, how they're moving, and how much force they're generating. Proprioception is what allows you to touch your nose with your eyes closed or walk without staring at your feet. The fourth component involves your musculoskeletal system, particularly the stabilizing muscles in your hips, core, ankles, and legs. These muscles are the responders, the structures that actually execute the corrections when your balance is challenged. When your brain detects that you're beginning to lean to one side, it signals the appropriate muscles to contract and restore your equilibrium. The fifth component is reaction time, the speed at which this entire system operates. This includes how quickly your sensory systems detect a problem, how rapidly your brain processes this information and determines the appropriate response, and how fast your muscles can execute that response. Here's what happens as we age. Each of these systems typically experiences some degree of gradual decline. The lenses of your eyes become less adaptable, affecting vision in various conditions. The sensory cells in your vestibular system become slightly less responsive. Proprioceptive receptors don't fire quite as quickly or precisely. Muscle mass decreases, especially the fast twitch fibers responsible for rapid movements, and neural processing speed slows somewhat, adding milliseconds to reaction times. Individually, each of these changes might seem minor, but when combined together, they can create noticeable differences in how stable and confident you feel. The encouraging news is that every one of these systems responds to appropriate training. Your vestibular system can be challenged and improved. Your proprioception can be significantly enhanced. Your muscles can be strengthened at any age. Even reaction time can be maintained and improved with practice. Now let's discuss the test itself. But first, we must address safety thoroughly. This is not optional information, so please pay close attention. Whenever you challenge your balance, even in a minor way, you need to create conditions that protect you if something goes wrong. Before attempting this test, find a sturdy chair that cannot roll, slide, or tip. A solid dining room chair is perfect. Avoid office chairs with wheels. Position this chair near a wall, counter, or heavy table that you can grab if needed. Clear the area around you completely, removing any rugs, electrical cords, or objects you might trip over. Wear shoes with good grip on a non-slip surface, or go barefoot if you have a non-slippery floor. If at all possible, have another person present the first time you try this, or at minimum, ensure someone is nearby and aware of what you're doing. If you experience dizziness, lightheadedness, or significant unsteadiness at any point, stop immediately. The assessment we're going to use is called the sit-to-stand test, also known as the chair rise test. This test is used by healthcare professionals worldwide because it provides valuable information about functional leg strength and balance control simultaneously. Here's exactly how to perform it correctly. Sit in the middle of your chair with your back not pressed against the backrest but not perching on the edge either. Plant your feet flat on the floor, approximately shoulder width apart, with your knees bent at about 90 degrees. Now cross your arms over your chest, placing each hand on the opposite shoulder. This position prevents you from using your arms to push off. When you're ready, stand up completely, rising to a fully upright position with your body tall. Then lower yourself back down to the seated position in a controlled manner. That's 1 repetition. For this assessment, you'll complete 5 consecutive repetitions, timing yourself from the moment you begin to rise until you finish sitting down after the 5th repetition. I encourage you to pause this video now and try this test. Remember all the safety measures we discussed. Move carefully, focus on control, and see what you discover. I'll be here when you return. Welcome back. Let's discuss what your results might indicate. If you completed 5 sit-to-stands in under 12 seconds without using your hands and while feeling stable throughout, that's an excellent result. Your functional strength and basic balance coordination are in good shape. You should continue maintaining these abilities, but you can feel encouraged about where you stand. If your time fell between 12 and 15 seconds, you're in what might be called a borderline range. This isn't cause for alarm, but it does suggest your balance and strength systems would benefit from regular, focused attention. The exercises I'll share today are designed specifically for this situation. If it took longer than 15 seconds, if you couldn't complete the test without using your hands, or if you felt significantly unsteady, that's valuable information. It suggests your balance systems need more support than average. I would encourage you to discuss this with your doctor or a physical therapist while also beginning gentle exercise work. Let me describe common mistakes that can affect your results. The first is using momentum instead of controlled strength. Throwing your body forward or rocking to generate movement might help you complete the test, but it doesn't reflect your true muscular strength and balance. The second mistake is holding your breath. This creates tension throughout your body and actually impairs your stability. Try to breathe normally, exhaling as you stand. The third mistake is rushing without attention to control. Speed matters less than quality. If you're wobbling on each repetition, that tells you something important regardless of your time. The fourth mistake is allowing one leg to dominate. Notice whether both legs are contributing equally or whether one side is doing most of the work. Now let's explore each balance system in greater detail, because understanding these will help you appreciate why each exercise matters. Your hip stabilizers, particularly the gluteus medius muscles on the outside of each hip, are fundamental to walking stability. Every step you take involves a brief moment of single leg stance. During this moment, your hip muscles must keep your pelvis level and prevent you from tipping sideways. Weakness in these muscles, extremely common in people who sit frequently, leads to subtle instability that affects everything from stair climbing to walking on uneven surfaces. Your ankles and feet serve as your first line of defense when balance is challenged. Your ankles make constant micro-adjustments to keep you centered, and your feet contain thousands of sensory receptors that provide critical information about whatever surface you're standing on. When ankle mobility decreases or foot sensitivity diminishes, you lose that crucial first response capability. Proprioception deserves special attention because it's so commonly overlooked. Consider this example. When you climb stairs in the dark, you know where to place your foot without seeing it. Your brain knows exactly where your limbs are in space, how your joints are positioned, how your weight is distributed. That's proprioception. When this system becomes less sharp, you become more dependent on vision to maintain balance, which is why many older adults struggle more in low-light conditions. Your vestibular system functions as your internal guidance system, detecting all forms of motion and head position. When it works well, you can turn your head quickly while walking without losing your balance, and your vision stays stable even during movement. Age-related changes in the system can contribute to dizziness or unsteadiness, particularly during rapid head movements or position changes. Reaction time determines whether a momentary balance challenge becomes a fall or a quick recovery, Even if your balance is disrupted, a fast reaction can save the situation. Reaction time naturally slows somewhat with age, but it responds remarkably well to practice. Now let's go through 5 exercises targeting each of these systems. Exercise 1 is the standing hip abduction, targeting your hip stabilizers. Stand behind a sturdy chair, holding the back with both hands. Keep your posture tall and your supporting legs slightly bent. Slowly lift one leg out to the side, keeping your toes pointing forward and your body upright. Lift only as high as you can without leaning. You should feel the muscles on the outside of your hip working. Lower with control and repeat 10 to 15 times before switching legs. For an easier version, keep firm hand support and limit the range of motion. For a harder version, use only fingertip support or no hands at all, and consider adding a light ankle weight over time. Exercise 2 is heel-toe rocking, targeting ankle mobility and foot sensation. Stand holding a counter for support. Slowly rock forward onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels. Pause briefly, then rock back onto your heels, lifting your toes. Continue rocking smoothly for 15 to 20 repetitions. For an easier version, maintain solid hand support and use smaller movements. For a harder version, use minimal hand contact and eventually try with eyes closed while staying near support. Exercise 3 is single leg standing, targeting proprioception. Stand near a wall or chair, shift your weight onto one leg and lift the other foot slightly off the ground. Try to hold for 15 to 30 seconds, then switch sides. For an easier version, keep one finger touching support and barely lift your foot. For a harder version, try with eyes closed or while standing on a folded towel for an unstable surface. Exercise 4 is seated gaze stabilization, targeting your vestibular system. Sit comfortably and focus on a target at eye level. While keeping your eyes fixed on that target, slowly turn your head left and right 10 times. Then, still watching the target, slowly tilt your head up and down 10 times. For an easier version, move very slowly and rest between sets. For a harder version, perform while standing or gradually increase head movement speed. Exercise 5 is reactive catching, targeting reaction time. With a partner or using a wall, practice catching a dropped or bounced ball at unpredictable times. Start with a large, slow ball and progress to smaller, faster ones. If working alone, bounce a ball against a wall and catch it on the rebound, varying the height and force. This trains your neuromuscular system to respond quickly to unexpected challenges. For your weekly routine, practice these exercises 3 to 4 days per week, allowing rest days between sessions. These rest days matter because your body adapts and strengthens during recovery, not just during exercise. Each session should last 15 to 25 minutes. Begin with a brief warm-up, perhaps walking in place for 2 minutes. Work through all 5 exercises with attention to quality over speed. Finish with gentle stretching. After 2 weeks of consistent practice, retest yourself using the sit-to-stand test. Many people are genuinely surprised by their improvement. Better times, greater stability, increased confidence. These changes translate directly into daily life, affecting how you move through every environment you encounter. Balance is about far more than just preventing falls. It's about confidence. It's about the freedom to engage fully with your life without hesitation or fear. When you trust your body, you live differently. You go more places. You do more things. You remain the independent, capable person you've always been. Please leave a comment below sharing your age and where you're watching from. I read these comments and genuinely value this community. Let me know how you did on the test and how you feel about starting these exercises. If this video provided value, please hit the like button. This small action helps more people find this information. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'm creating more content designed to help you stay strong, mobile, and independent for years to come. Thank you for your time today. Your balance can improve. Your confidence can grow. I believe in your ability to make real progress. Start practicing, stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video.